Hey guys, Taylem here. Welcome to the character creation for my Skyrim Let's Play. Now I am going to play a Nord male. That's because the scenario that I wrote down, I felt that a Nord male would be the best. Now what exactly is my character's background? Well, my character is young. Young meaning, let's say, maybe around 18 to 19 years of age, which to us is pretty young, but back then you can assume that that was about the age of manhood, at least generally speaking. Now he's going to be kind of a scrawny stick of wood. I'm going to make him fairly lightweight. That's because I have Gopher's pumping iron mod installed, where the more my guy trains, runs in heavy armor, uses large weapons, etc., he will slowly begin to build muscle. Now this is not just something that will happen regardless. He will actually need to sleep proper to benefit from the effects of the physical training. So by level 50 or so, who knows how large he may be, but we will see. It all depends on my playstyle and how much I utilize the various different sorts of weapon and armor to be found in the game. So skin tone, let's give him just a little bit darker. I don't want him too pale. It may look a little sickly. But let's go ahead and zoom in here. Now since he is young, he's going to be healthy and well fed. The reason being is that his father was a fairly well-to-do caravaner. He often traveled the length of Tamriel, taking his son with him, and that is kind of where we're going to start the beginning of the game. But exactly what that scenario is going to be, I'm going to wait until the actual start to show you, but that is the general premise. Now, my character is going to be the shy sort. He's not going to be very willing to accept confrontation. This is mainly because he was constantly browbeaten down, sometimes even physically, by his father. He never had his mother in the picture. She died when he was very young. And so he was used to just knuckling under, so to speak, and it kind of ingrained itself in his personality. So he's going to have to attempt to overcome that to embrace the destiny that we're all familiar with in the game. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to base my decisions as if it's through his eyes. He's going to have a really hard time to say, yes, I will do it. And combat, he's not the sort that immediately rush into the fray. He's going to have to really find himself, find his heart and his courage to tackle these huge obstacles that are going to be placed in front of him. Now, as far as companion mods, there was a whole bunch of good ones to choose from, and I had a real hard time deciding which ones I was going to use. But I thought for this let's play, I wanted to add a bit of humor into it, a bit of fun, so I decided to go with the Sophia follower mod. Now, she's a little unconventional, in some ways maybe a little bit on the cusp of not being overly lore friendly, but I felt that for the most part, she was good enough for this Let's Play. So it's going to be really funny seeing the alcoholic Sophia interact with the very shy and unsure character that my guy is going to be. So let's just go ahead and get his general appearance and his hair and all that other good stuff taken care of. Now, I'm not going to get too fancy with it. It's mainly because for me, character generation is fun, but I don't like to spend overly too much detail, especially for this playthrough, because, you know, I don't want to bore you guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and generally make him based on how I see his appearance being. So he's fairly young. He's definitely going to be well washed. He's not going to be covered in dirt. I always didn't like that. And he's not going to have any war paint because he's not a warrior by trade, even though he always practiced quite a bit. Whenever the caravan would stop, he would practice with his sword or his bow to one day maybe strike out on his own, because in his travels, one thing he noticed is that there are two kinds of people in this world. There are the warriors and the soldiers, and then there's everybody else. And he's felt like lesser than everybody else for all of his life. So in the fantasy in his mind, he would always hide away somewhere where no one can see him and maliciously attack bushes and tree stumps and anything else that he could find inanimate object wise, because he didn't really enjoy killing in itself. Not that blood overly concerned him, even though he didn't really favor the appearance of it. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles combat in the real world. So let's just go ahead and ear size. A lot of this stuff I might just leave generally alone, because it can start to really make your character on the funky side. Nose type. Now, noses in Skyrim are probably one of the ugliest. One of the ugliest in games. It's really hard to find a good nose in Skyrim. That's sort of a bold look. It's a little thick, but I believe that is something that can be changed. Let's see here. Nose color. All right, let's give his face and neck a little bit of color, so he doesn't look so pale. Because traveling out with a caravan, he wouldn't exactly be pale white, and most definitely would not be. So I want to give him a bit more color, probably in his cheeks and his forehead the most. Okay. Let's go ahead. I'm going to skip down over to the hair real quick, because I need to get rid of the facial hair. It's really hard to design a character with facial hair blocking it. And brows, no, those are some pretty serious brows. I don't really favor all that much. That doesn't look too bad. A little clean, keeps a young appearance. Alright, let's go back to face. Skeleton depth. I want the bridge width. Here we go. Is that narrow? Yeah, okay. I need it just a little bit more narrow. It's a little thick. Now, what about nose length? Where's that at? There we go. Tone it down just a little bit, because he has some serious nose right there. All right, what about lips? Where's the mouth? Mouth. There we go. He's doing that pucker thing. That always kind of disturbed me just a little bit. Is that, why are you puckering? All right. This is why facial hair in this game is actually pretty good. Alright. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and we'll go ahead and cut away to the final product for you guys. Alright guys, we are done with our character, and here we got our young and our dashing and our unsure of himself young merchant boy who is about to discover there was a much darker world out there than he has ever experienced along the roads of Tamriel, despite having to deal with a few bandit attacks now and then. But of course his father had caravan guards, so his role in repelling those attacks was minor at best. So we're gonna go ahead and finish the character. Let's give him a name, and my character's name is going to be Hadeon. Alright, so all the mods and all the loading is going to configure now. May take a few minutes for the scrolling to complete, and then I am going to do the MCM menu setup for all the installed MCM menu mods. Alright guys, we are done with our initial setup, so it looks like we are actually ready to go. So let's go ahead and approach the statue here and figure it out. Now I'm really deciding between two things. Either shipwrecked off the coast or Left 4 Dead on the side of the road. To be honest with you, I think I am going to go with this one right here. I shall not. Alright, then we go over to the little bed here. Boy, it is dark. Holy crap. Alright, once I click this, I'll be going into character. I will, of course, be making comments as myself, but the portrayal and all the actions I'm going to use with my character, as well as many reactions as I can muster, will be within the realm of his personality, which is, he is young. He's not very brash. In fact, he doesn't like confrontation. He'll try to avoid it. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys are too. So guys, in the next video, we will be starting this grand adventure together. Please join me for it.